It talks about number 2, long distance. Long distance happens to be circumstantial for the most part. It's like a single mother. You can't blame people for that. It's usually not relevant. The cards you are dealt. Are you capable of keeping your romantic partner engaged? If you're not, it is not a crime, man or woman. But there are skills, there are this game you can learn that you can keep them engaged. Okay? But when you conclude that there's no such thing, when you bring in there's no one size fits all, just to conclude that there's nothing else to learn, because there's no one size fits all, it depends on the context, right? But if you use it to conclude that there's nothing else to learn, it's no wonder that you get dumped. It doesn't matter how good you are, of a man or a woman. Same thing. Same difference. You concluded that you're a loser. You need to own that with your full chest. Oh yeah, being a loser doesn't mean you're not a good man or woman. You lost. English language. You're a loser. It's not fair. In love and war, all is fair. In the real world, when it all adds up, T2 about to get 2. It's all fair. Does it sound vicious? I know. Ask OPE. Right? It is vicious, right? That's why people are caught up in their emotions. That's why they're caught up in their emotions and they're calling it logic. Or reality. That's not reality. Reality is that you're trying to justify the BS that you went through. It was BS. If a person dumps you and you feel like there's no reason that they dump you, that is supposed to feel like BS. It's supposed to feel painful. This is the real world, right? The part where you're wrong is the entitlement. You're not entitled to another person's life. That's why you're repelling them. That's why you're pushing them further and further away. Because it shows in your attitude about life. It shows in the way you move. You tend to engage manipulative and controlling tactics because you feel entitled. You feel like you own another human being, not even your children. How much more? Right? The number 3, never upgrade your woman or your man above you. If you have that mindset, please stay away from marriage. That marriage is already crumbled before it started. Just because of the above the other person part. It's now a competition. Could it work? It just can't work. It's only, if you're inside of it right now, it's only a matter of time. If you're inside of it right now and you feel like the other person is playing that game, listen, your self-worth is in question. You need to talk to someone as soon as possible. Okay? And yes, those type of people have their way. They're just surviving too. They're doing what they're supposed to do. The way they think, they're not competent. They do what they think is the right thing to do, but they're destroying your self-worth in the process. I'm just letting you know. Number 4, women are loyal to the feelings. We all don't care about anything else outside of our feelings. I will not show up to this show today if I feel like I don't want to do a show. Okay? Yes, and it's a business. We're running a business. We're building an audience. It's a media platform. Yes, but there's still a feeling that I get. There's a need. It's an emotional need that I'm feeling by engaging this endeavor. It's all feelings, my ninja. Number 5. Anybody can dump anybody, not just women. Right? Again, none of this stuff are gender based. He might say, no, I was just talking in general. Okay, good, granted. But the lames that are following you, they're thinking of it as gender. It's the same issue with Kevin Samuels when he went viral. Same issue. And they're not going to go look for your video that addresses them. Why? Because it's all gender based, fear based fight for them. Because they're connecting with their pain, but you're not providing a solution. Anyone can be dumped. Again, it's a sense of ownership of other people's life. Even your children, you can't move that way. You're a bad parent if that's how you think. If you think remotely, even if it's subconsciously that you own your children, you're a terrible parent. That's why they call it custody. You're just in charge temporarily. How much more a full-blown adult that you're supposed to engage in a romantic way, meaning they need to feel like they want to be with you. Not just because you're supposed to be with me because you're supposed to be with me. That's supposed to kill you there. Because it's not going to work. It will never work. I'm talking results. Argue with your destiny. It will never work. When you have the mindset somebody is supposed to be married to me, and I have all that mindset right there, you have no value to bring to the table. So they will leave you for a person that has better value. It's not gender-based. Number 6, so it's not wrong. It's just that they need to share the love. You need to share it to the other side. When women taste leadership, what did he say about when they taste leadership? He says something. Especially if they have money. He's attached value to be equivalent to money. That is automatically false on arrival. Dead on arrival. It's the same issue with the person, the rhetoric we got, the story we got. She's making so much money now. And it could, because that person's making more money in terms of bank account, they can't see a way to add value to that person's life. That is lame behavior. That's why you got dumped. It's not because she tasted leadership. It's because you don't see value in yourself. It's a lack of self-worth issue. Gentlemen. Number 7, hypergamy. Baba, Timbatugbo hyper. If I hear pa, if I hear you say I, please don't bring hypergamy into your lingo anymore. You have no idea what you're talking about. It's either when they're dating or they're marrying. That's when somebody's already in the situation, you cannot bring that in anymore. Okay? The only way you can relate is because if somebody has a bad situation that's prolonged, maybe they are lazy or the wife starts to see them as lazy. Yes, that will kick in because they no longer know each other. Right? That will kick in, obviously. Right? Is that a good reason to terminate another person's life? I mean, you're just going to talk about that in 1 second and brush over it. Why? Because all the lames will miss it. They missed it as usual. They missed it. So again, this was just, I was going to be nice. I promise. I was going to be nice, but I don't know. Maybe you guys still consider me nice. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. In this respect, at least. But either way, all the if you don't like to be held accountable as a man, yeah. I will not apologize for that. I just refuse to apologize for that. Just because you're being held accountable, it's not mean it's your fault. It means you can bring some evidence and explain yourself. And if you try to do explanation with no evidence,
we go explain because no evidence.
You'll be tired though, because we're having this conversation and your results are saying otherwise of what you mean. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, my result is disconnected from the fact that I am right.
Oh, you're right.
It's a disconnect. You have to look in your mirror. I have to do the same thing. It's not just you. I have to do the same thing. Okay? Now, with that being said, please feel free to come here. If you want to engage conversation, let's talk. Until then, if you hear dust on the internet with no evidence,
we go explain because no evidence.
Baba, you collect every time.
Sorry.
Because then you're telling me that I need to get your attention, right? Because you're dangerous. You're dangerous for our society. We can't afford a society of angry men. We just can't.